Hello crafters, this is Yana Smakula. Welcome back to my channel. Today is September 1st, and if you've been a card maker for more than a year, you know what that means. It means we are starting to celebrate STAMPtember. STAMPtember is the biggest, the bestest, the most anticipated month in the stamping community, organized by Simon Says Stamp. It is basically a month-long celebration filled with loads of stamping inspiration, fabulous collaborations with various stamping brands, awesome surprises, and most importantly, crafting fun. Today, I have a video for you showing how the same card design can change dramatically depending on what background you put it on what color background. I have the same design done on black and white backgrounds. I'm a huge fan of using dark, rich colors of cardstock for my cards. In fact, I'm a fan of the same colors in real life and interior design. And we have several walls in our apartment painted navy blue, dark olive green, and even black. Dark colors create a certain mood. They add a lot of drama and wow to a card. At the same time, dark colors can feel very heavy, so it isn't always easy to incorporate a dark background into a project in a tasteful way. I picked the new Printmaking Birds stamp set from Simon Says Stamp for my cards. I love the printmaking concept in stamping. I think it is a very cool way to add color to solid images, and I have shared cards using this type of stamps before. They are still among my favorites. I have a link to my blog in the video description below showing these cards. The Printmaking Birds stamp set is evergreen, but I wanted to adapt it to Christmas card making, so I stamped my birds in various shades of red and gray. I first made a template for myself by stamping the outline in black ink. Whenever I work with this type of stamp set, the printmaking one, I tend to stamp several panels at once. This way, I get plenty of stamped images, and it doesn't take long to stamp because I'm mass producing, especially since I'm using a MISTI stamping tool. I don't necessarily need this many birds, but I can keep them and save them for future projects, and I just put them in a little baggie together with my stamp set once I'm done stamping. I stamped the bird bodies in Simon Says Stamp watermelon and lipstick red ink, and the wings were stamped in dark gray, charcoal, and Earl, and also in black using the VersaFine Onyx Black ink. You can find all of the supplies that I use for these cards in the video description below, so if I'm using something and I'm not mentioning, be sure to check out the description. This stamp set has coordinating dies, and it was my plan from the beginning to use the dies to cut the birds out as I wanted to position them differently on my card. I wanted to create a bird pattern, scatter the birds on the background around a small foiled sentiment in the center. Having just the birds on the card without anything else would have felt a bit boring, so I looked through my stash to find any other stamps with small, solid greenery that would fit the Christmas or winter theme of these cards and that would also match in size to the birds. I used images from the Happy Poinsettia stamp set and Gift Wrap stamp set, both from Simon Says Stamp, and stamped the images in Perfection and Field inks, so just some various green shades. These images also have coordinating dies available, so I cut them out in my die cutting machine, and this gave me pretty greenery for the birds to hold or to sit on, or just something to add a bit of additional color to the card. Now, the berry branch image has a berry stamp to it to stamp the berries, but I personally can never align it perfectly, so this time I just decided to forego the berries stamp and use a red pen and draw the berries by hand. Now, this particular pen is a red pen from Jane Davenport. I think it's called Thriller Jacket. I think this pen might have been discontinued, but you can use any other pen you have, or even use a red Copic marker or alcohol marker, or just stamp the berries in red ink. I foiled the word joy in the center of my panel. Here I have the black panel. The joy comes from the Spellbinders Christmas Magic Glimmer Plates set, and it was foiled in matte gold foil, my favorite. Now, I picked this particular sentiment because of its size. It is pretty compact, creating a beautiful and clean, simple sentiment for this card. I'm not showing the foiling process in this video as I have shown foiling in many other videos on my channel. So if you are new to hot foil stamping, just look it up on my channel and you'll find a tutorial. And I'll also link a tutorial here. Next, I arranged the birds one by one, creating a pattern on my card. Now, I did use the bird layout on the stamp set, but I changed it slightly. That made it a lot easier to place all of the different birds on the background and avoid having too much repetition. I made sure I alternated the wing color on the bird die cuts and used gray wings and black wings. I also popped things up on my card. Here, I used Simon's new foam adhesive squares to pop the little greenery next to the birds. Now, these particular squares come in a pack of white and black, which is super convenient. I especially love the black as they work perfectly on these dark background cards. Now, you don't have to use the black just on the black backgrounds, but you can use the black foam adhesive squares on any dark background as well. Now, these foam adhesive squares are also thin. They are twice less the thickness of the regular foam adhesive square, making them a great alternative when you plan to mail your card and don't want to add much bulk to it while still being able to add the dimension. You can also combine the regular foam squares with these thin foam squares to achieve various levels of depth on your cards. I finished my card by adhering all of the birds onto the background around the word joy. I also used some fashion gold dots and scattered them around the background, filling it in. I placed the dots anywhere where I had big gaps in my design. Now, when placing the birds onto the card, I made sure to step away at least a 1/4 inch from the edge to create a visual border for the design. It is a simple trick that helps frame everything and pull your card together. And now, for the main part of this video, black or white. Black looks amazing with tons of contrast and lots of drama. White looks very elegant, very soft, and sophisticated. Both designs are stunning, and I think the choice of the background color should depend on the recipient. Not everyone is a fan of black colors, and some people prefer the clean and white look, while others will be wowed by a dark background card. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you found this video useful. If you do make a card inspired by this tutorial, please tag me on social media. I would love to see your work. Thanks so much for joining me today. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time.